voice and his talk, and how has that affected but maybe also impacted?
I think Doe has actually some very strong leadership qualities, not just because he is vocal, but because he's about the right things, and that gains instant credibility and respect from his teammates. He's also willing to be coached, and I think that is an underrated skill in the NBA, to be able to take in-game feedback, film feedback, halftime feedback, and not take it personally, but understand that the objective of a basketball game is for your team to win. That permeates the group.
Alex played in the first 2 games that after signing with you guys. Hasn't been in rotation since. Do you anticipate him being in rotation in light of Rui being out today? And what did you think of him in the 20 some minutes he played in those first 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't necessarily read a ton into the minutes that he played. You guys asked me if the first game he didn't play that well. Thought he was better in the second stint. Again, this is a matchup night-to-night thing. He's a professional. He's been very professional, and he's going to get an opportunity at some point. There's no doubt. And we'll just see how tonight goes. A lot of that has to do with if Jackson is or isn't in foul trouble. That's a big sort of caveat to all this.
So when you joined Philly, that's when Ben Simmons had his first couple of years in the league. What was it like seeing what his abilities were, how unique his game was, and like how's it been just kind of keeping up with him since y'all were teammates?
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed those first 2 years of his playing career, because he was a rookie before I got there, but didn't play. But just made an instant impact. Plays winning basketball. I think he has an innate sense of helping his teammates. He helped me a lot as a passer, screener, defender. Filled a lot of gaps for us on both ends, and is obviously someone that I care deeply for as a former teammate and a still friend. What's the opposite of former? Present friend. So excited to see him find a spot where he can play and impact winning, and I think he's done a good job of facilitating and defending so far.
You all have been the top defensive team in the NBA over the last month. I'm sure that makes you happy. How have you gotten guys to buy in on that end of the floor?
Some of it is just building a mentality within the group, and the players obviously not only have to buy in, but they have to participate in that, and they have to lead on that. I can't just lead on that. Our team has just done an awesome job of competing and playing tough, being connected, and I think the other thing is, you gotta, a lot of this, to get buy-in, you have to be a used car salesman. You can't just tell someone that they should buy a 1992 Toyota Corolla. It's a great car. You can drive it 180,000 miles, but maybe there's some confusion around why you should buy that car, and you have to sell it. And then there has to be conviction to stick with that. And our guys have done that. They've executed game plans. I think my staff has, throughout the years, worked their butts off, and we've really just narrowed our focus on the defensive game plan stuff. And our guys have been awesome, and we've sold it well.
What do you do when the other coach is like peddling a Camry and your team starts buying it?
More of a Honda guy.
Yeah.
That salesmanship, is that something that you had in you, or?
Well, no, I just know that it's part of it. Like, you can have a bunch of words. You have to be able to explain the why as a coach. And then if there's disagreement on the why, you have to be able to double down on the why, and you have to have conviction about that. and it's not like, I don't view every night we're not doing the same thing defensively. You have to be adaptable in all this. Every night we don't play the same way offensively. You have to be adaptable. You're gonna face different schemes. You're gonna face different coverages. Defensively, you're gonna play against different play types. You're gonna play against different players. I think the common denominator and the through line in all of this is, what are you willing to live with? And that's the basics of it. And then you have to sell that.
Along those lines of what you're willing to live with, I think during this stretch, I think you're allowing the third most 3-point attempts in the league, and knowing kind of your general feelings about 3-point volume. How have you guys gone about allowing the right kind of threes, and I guess what do you view the right kind of 3-pointer to allow as a defense?
You know, obviously don't want to give up uncontested threes. So I think that start there. Certain players, like Anthony Edwards last night, we didn't want to give up off the dribble threes. Shoots 41% of that on those, so try to take those away. Steph, we're not trying to let him shoot any threes. You know, Boston, you know, there was a certain type of three we didn't want to give up, and there was a certain type of three we were willing to live with. I think it just, night to night, it just changes.
If I'm not mistaken, which is possible, but you haven't trailed since the first quarter of the Portland game. If there have been ties in a couple of the games, like the Dallas game, but does that tell you anything about process or starting games or game plan, or is there kind of a through line?
I don't, not necessarily with the process. I think, I didn't know that. If that's true, that's pretty remarkable, but I think our guys have just been ready to play. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Our guys have started games well. They've started quarters well. Haven't always closed quarters well, but they've started quarters well. I think that just the readiness and the energy to start has been awesome.
Thanks, Coach.